Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Milk Room Podcast. My name is Kimberly. I am your host, and I'm sitting here with Angelina. Hi, Angelina.
Hello, everyone.
Nice to meet you. I mean, we've met briefly, actually.
We did.
Where did we meet again?
We met at the LA Swim Week runway show, like backstage, very briefly.
So awesome. So, do you model? You would say you're a model?
I actually started modeling when I was 12. Yeah.
No way.
I was found by Professionally Pretty at Orlando Fashion Week. I was 12 years old, and I started working with them. I did some stuff for Disney and Universal, and then I moved to LA when I was 15, and I kept doing stuff until last June when I went corporate. But
oh my God, you went corporate. Okay, so I would not have thought that. I actually thought it was the other way around, that you worked corporate and maybe modeling was your hobby. So I think it's so cool that it's something that you were able to do when you were younger, because I feel like with that, you're usually scouting when you're young.
yeah, it's a good experience. I think I got a lot of experience on set. I always thought I wanted to go into photography, but then as I found out I wanted to go into videography, a lot of the things I already had experience in were actually like building to that before I knew it.
Oh my God, I love that. So were you said you were discovered, or did you apply, or how was the process?
I was at Orlando Fashion Week because my dad's like wife was walking, and I don't know, I remember I was like standing by her, and this lady came up to me and she was like, "Have you thought about being a model?" Blah blah blah. Gave me her like little Tiffany teal light blue card.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, "Absolutely not, like you can't."
I'm dead.
So low-key hid it from him.
King. He's king for that, though.
Like, yes
parent.
and no, but my
dead.
mom was like, okay, well, like, we'll call them, and like,
No, of course, because also, like, it seems like you grew up already kind of, like, exposed to that environment. So to a child, it's, like, it's glamorous, you know? It's like, I would rather do that than go to school. Like,
oh,
you know what I mean?
def, yeah.
Exactly. Oh, my God, that's so cool. So were you born in the States, or what's your ethnicity?
So I was born in Miami to two immigrant parents, both immigrant New Yorkers. My dad is French, Spaniard, and African, and my mom is Native and Colombian.
What? That's so cool. I love mixes. Like, I just love cultures and all of that. So
That's why I'm like, I look like none of those things. I look kind of confusing, but I speak 4 languages, and I look like I wouldn't speak any of them. It's fine.
Oh my God, a kumquat. Oh my God, that's so freaking cool. And were you always creatively inclined, would you say?
So my mom was a artist / fashion designer before she had me in New York City. She designed for like Wrangler, cowboy stuff in the 90s, Macy's, Tommy Hilfiger. And so I grew up in a very like art cultured environment, I guess. She would say like, she was doing, I forget what she called it. It was like cultural enlightenment or something, but it was like a couple times a week she'd force me to like watch some very specific like old movie, or like make me sit through like this like art book that she had from decades ago and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So very enriched in that culture.
Literally, me as a mom, I would still do that if I were a mom. So I feel like it's just so cute.
I was annoyed, but looking back, I'm like, my mom was so cool, and I gave her so much shit.
Yes, because honestly, like, to have that is such a privilege, because I think I was speaking earlier on how, art defines really us as a humanity, and it like puts it captures a time, it captures an emotion, and I think growing up that way is amazing, and I'm so glad you were able to do that. And I'm excited to hear, like, now, what do you do?
So currently I'm head of video production at Next Wave Talent Agency. It's the #1 affiliate marketing agency in terms of GMV in the US. And I create content for our in-house accounts and for brands as well. So I'm working on some stuff. I don't know that I can say for which brands, but there's an LVMH brand in the mix.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I mean, from what I can see, like, besides modeling, it sounds like films and video are something that resonate with you and that mean a lot to you. Do you have any movies that spoke with you that were like, okay, literally what I'm saying is what I feel, and that's what I want to capture?
I think the thing that matches that description most closely to me would either be watching some of Ingmar Bergman's movies. He's like a 50s, 60s Swedish director. A lot of his stuff was just so cutting edge for the time period that it was released in that was really inspiring. But I remember when I was 12, I watched Moonrise Kingdom, which I actually am not that big of a fan of Wes Anderson. I'm sorry. But Moonrise Kingdom itself, I think, is one of his better pieces. And I remember just being so enthralled in photography at the time and realizing how every single one of those frames was like a beautiful picture that I would have loved to create. And I was like, wait, I don't have to limit myself to just one frame. I could do so much past that.
You can do so much.
Yeah. So I started doing video stuff when I was like 14, like really getting into it, taking classes, started editing heavily. And I was a PA for Rosario Dawson at 15. And then
Rosario Dawson? The actress? Oh my god, she's right here.
Yeah,
she's the kid poster.
Yes, girl. Okay. Well, anyways, I used to like listen to her calls and like transcribe stuff for her. But yeah, shout out. She's an amazing woman.
Shout out to Rosario Dawson.
And yeah, I just kept doing like more work on sets, and eventually I got to be a cinematographer for like 2-ish years, also while I was in school for film production.
Awesome. And did you go to school for that? Was it people you know? Like, what was your experience?
So I went to SMC for 2 years to do film production. I actually got 3 degrees on accident in 2 years. I thought I was getting one, and then I got my transcript, and I was like, oh, like, okay.
Might as well, yeah.
Cool.
Good.
And then it was during COVID, so I did like a online AFI certification kind of thing for cinematography. And yeah, I did my conservation in cinematography and just kept working on projects from there.
That's awesome. And have you created any short films? Do you specialize more like music videos, movies?
As far as editing, I know that I like to do like music videos and kind of like more stylistic stuff.
Fun. I think, sorry to interrupt, but I think music videos need to make a huge comeback. I just have to put
100%.
Right?
Yeah, I also think you need to be in a music video. You have the quintessential 2000s girl vibe of like, you're like, and he's like on his knees chasing you. Like, I need to see it this year or 2025. I'm holding you to it.
2025 is gonna be my year. Y'all heard that? Like,
tap in, follow Kimberly.
That's so cute. But no, I love that though, because it is a lost art. I think like a lot of artists that have blown up in the past, I think music videos have been what have defined them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I'm so happy to hear that that's what you want to, go into, because we need that.
Well, actually, that's not at all what I'm going into. So I meant as far as editing, I'm interested. That's my preferred category of stuff.
Is it easier?
But for all the cinematography stuff that I do, I've done like short films. I've done like longer kind of medium-sized films, no features.
Yeah.
I like acted in features, but I've never been on the production end of a feature.
Yeah.
But I actually started doing a lot of content creation for like different brands. I started like doing influencer stuff when I was like 15, because for some god awful reason, when I moved to LA at the age of 15, I went from having 600 followers to 2,000 to like 7,000, which I was 15.
Yeah, mind
That's
you.
all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
So for some godforsaken reason, I was doing influencer shit at 15, and I just kind of kept doing content creation on the side once in a while.
Yeah.
Doing it freelance. I actually, this is like the darkest part of my timeline, but I was a TikTok live streamer for a bit. And I went through a couple different marketing agencies that were trying to do this live stream stuff, and that's how I ended up at the job that I have now. Was I was doing freelance content creation for them for about like a year and a half, and also like once in a while live streaming when they were desperate for someone, because I was not the best live streamer.
I know. I understand that, because I see so many job listings for that being like live streamer.
Oh, we're hiring. If anyone wants to get paid $30 an hour plus commission, hit me up. Like.
Oh, period. That's so cool though. Like, I think it's just so interesting where marketing is going.
Oh yeah. So I have started my full-time position since June, originally I was supposed to do like the Spanish speaking markets of TikTok, Spain and Mexico, but they delayed that. So I got pushed more into like the marketing content creation stuff, and it's crazy. Like, the future of e-commerce is changing very, very quickly.
Very quickly.
And
it's hard to keep up.
yeah, one, it's hard to keep up, but two, if anyone, for some reason, you're like, sales is my life and my dream, like, there's no reason not to be doing that right now, because if you're not, there's not going to be an opportunity to break through in 5 years.
Exactly.
You barely have the opportunity now as it is.
Exactly. Would you say people need to be getting on TikTok Shop?
I would and I wouldn't. If you're a pre-existing influencer and you have like a certain social metric that you want to put out, I think that you shouldn't be doing TikTok Shop. I think if you're not interested in like the social media aspect of it and more like monetizing sales through a social media platform, then TikTok's for you, because it can be incredibly profitable. I've worked with people I took from 700 GMV, that's like the total amount of sales that they make per month, to like 25,000 after one-on-one session that I had with them. So like the metrics are crazy. I manage creators that make more than the CEO of our company, so yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, that is insane. Shout out to you for that, because that's a lot of work.
Oh, it is.
And also props to you for it seems like you've had such a journey so young, and like it's hard to come across that, and I think you just have so much advice to give. Like, if you were a creator, what advice would you give if you're just starting out?
I would say, this is what everyone says, but just post as much as you can and actually think about the structure of your post. This is something I hear a lot from other creators or like actors that I work with that I shoot on set day to day. They're shocked by the amount of structure that goes into our TikTok Shop videos. Like, our scripts are highly formulated with different data teams that we get from London, from Shanghai, directly from like Gourmet, which is the Chinese TikTok, and the US TikTok. And like, we formulate things so that when someone watches it without realizing like you're selling to them. So there's always like that formula in every script, and it's a lot more subconscious than you think.
I agree. I mean, like, think about it. You need to capture people's attentions in less than a second. Like, literally less than a second.
That's what you'll hear for every content creation advice, is like the hook is going to be the most important part. Like, those first 3 to 5 seconds, if you can get the majority of people to stay past 5 seconds, your video will see 10 times as much traction as it would otherwise.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, and people think, oh my god, it's so easy.
We have TikTok Shop creators that have been doing this stuff for almost a year, and they don't have the content creation skills, frankly, and like, it's really rough to watch, because like, they're like stay-at-home moms and they keep like posting this stuff, and then you have people that come into the space and within a month they're making like 25,000. And our top seller, he's been posting on every platform for 4 years, posting 15 to 20 videos per platform. And he has generated over 10 million in sales this year.
It's all about your strategy. Like, even like the most simple picture will have a strategy.
Yeah. And not all of that's going to pan out. That's why, like, that is kind of genius. Some people say, like, you shouldn't post more than 3 times a day, but it is kind of genius on his part, because, like, one of those 20 videos has to at least go over a couple thousand views. And, like, there's a base conversion rate for everything that is seen with a shoppable link.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's so crazy.
Tap in. Like, if you're broke and you have all the time, and if you're broke and unemployed and you have time on your hands, like, you don't have to put your face in it. Like, go make a TikTok Shop video, do something. I don't know.
Do something. Be like one of those people that repost like those Reddit stories and just put like an automatic voiceover. Like, you could just do so much.
Chill, yeah.
Yeah, literally. That's so cool though. But modeling, like, do you still model, or how is that?
I model a little bit here and there on the side. I have had like a couple people reach out to me and stuff since I've gone corporate, to still do shoots, and like, you know, I did runway. Thanks, shout out Giovanni. Did the LA Fashion Week little runway thing that
And
I'm sure.
How was the LA Fashion Week? I didn't go. I couldn't, but I'm like, yeah, how was it?
It was really cool. All of the designers were super sick. Everyone was really wonderful. I met some really cool models there. One of the girls I connected with is like a like neurologist from UCLA, and she also models on the side for fun. She's so sick. So like I love those kinds of things, because even if it's not like I get paid like pretty well for the work I do, and so when opportunities like that, where technically it's like not worth my time, I always feel like it is, because there's so much connection and like moments to be shared with other people. And the kinds of women that I've met through these kinds of things, you included, are always like so cool and interesting, and have so many other aspects of their life. So I really, really enjoy that part of like the modeling scene in general in LA.
Right, I agree, because I feel like it always starts kind of like not interestingly for you. You started as a career, and now it's a hobby. But for a lot of people do it as a hobby, you know. And it's like, for me, it started like that with my friends, and I've seen that like the most enriching part is when I get to meet people like you, and you know, because that's all the fun, you know. Because you shoot, it's still a lot of work, you know, like you are tired, you don't eat, you know, like because you don't have time, like it's a lot. And I think like the connections and the community you build is so enriching.
100%.
Yeah, that's so cool. I mean, what has been your favorite show that you've done this year?
Oh, I think just because I really liked my walk in it. I liked walking for Dominique Cavillo this last little LA Fashion Week runway. I didn't know, but a woman who was a producer for a film that I was a cinematographer on, is like one of her best friends ever. And like completely unknowingly, she casted me in her show, and we didn't find out until like 2 days after everything had been posted. And our friend was like, wait, we worked together. And I was like, wait, you know Dominique? And, yeah.
That's how you know it was meant to happen.
Oh, 100%.
Like, everything just like, it's like little puzzle pieces.
Yeah.
Each other.
And I was like looking around at all the other models she casted, and I really loved her show, because I thought her models were like the most diverse, but they were all very uniquely beautiful. Yeah. Like they weren't diverse for the sake of being diverse and having different looks, but each individual had something about them where like you wanted to know a little more. And I thought that was so cool about everyone that was like, I was also like, okay, I'll take that as a compliment.
That's beautiful.
But yeah, there's just so many cool people there, and she was a really lovely designer as well, like so serious about her art, and like her art is seriously impressive, like doing all of that handmade.
I am gonna have to check her out. I wanted to know, have you ever encountered a bad experience?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
I mean, I've been on a lot of sets for like various big brands and stuff. And like I feel like the higher the rate, the worse the experience.
Oh, that makes me sad to hear, but I feel like it's so realistic.
Yeah, it is. I mean, okay.
And it shouldn't, but
if I feel like there's like two categories of higher rate stuff. It's either like big budget higher rate, where like they just need to get it done and they're willing to pay whatever for it, and like that's fine, because like you don't really get bugged in that. And then there's like higher rate because what they're about to ask you to do is degrading. Like I did, right before I went corporate, I did like a lawyer commercial. And it was just a bunch of Latinas, and like I came with a push-up bra, and like the wardrobe designer was like, girl, you need to put like more in there. And she gave me like these like double cup like silicone pads to fill in my dress even more. They like beat my face until I was not another person. And then like all the little Latinas were lined up because they were trying to do like a family squares style, like we're all looking at each other in the squares.
Why did you gotta wear a push-up bra when it was a family little thing?
No, and then the lawyer himself, I kind of want to say his name, but I don't know if I'll get in trouble, but he's a Colorado
Allegedly.
lawyer. This lawyer comes up to like the couch of like little Latinas waiting to go up and do their bit, and he's like, oh, you ladies look real good, and he's like sweating on us, like dead ass, like sweat is dripping, and he's like leaning over us on the couch, and all of the girls are so uncomfortable until one of the PAs like sees him like being way too comfortable, and like literally they like two different PAs were like, okay, come on now, like come on this way. And I was like, holy. And even the makeup artist said something to me about it. She's like, I can't believe that women still have to go through this kind of stuff to this day. Yeah. And that was like, they paid me what, like almost $800 for 3 hours. I forget what the rate was, but something like that, where I was like,
which is it's a lot for the amount of time, you know what I mean? Like
times 3, that's like, my rent, like chill, I'm done. Yeah.
Like it's just that's so disgusting, and just the power imbalance, because it's his commercial, so right, like, because he's the lawyer, so it's his commercial, and you guys are technically working there for him.
Yeah.
So it's so disgusting and uncomfortable. I'm so sorry you went through that, and I'm so sorry that
it's part of the biz.
yeah,
here.
it's part of the job, sadly, but it's like it's just so horrendous. I'm so glad that you at least were on a set that there was someone else that thought that's not okay.
Someone with PR training or something.
Yeah, someone with PR training. Yeah, I'm like, is it PR training or is it common sense? I don't know. But
like,
I'm
we
like,
shouldn't need an intimacy coordinator for your law commercial, sir. Come on now.
Like, you're a lawyer, you should know that. Like,
Yeah.
come on, exactly. That's so crazy. But is there anything that you have planned for the future creatively that you would love to try?
I actually, so my girlfriend here, she's a fashion designer. She like works
shout out
at
to
a
your
shop
brand.
and like all that. And so she's been talking about her own shirts, and I also have like my own kind of shirts and stuff that I want to make. But I've been thinking a lot about like a mix of like my writing and like fashion, if that makes sense. But yeah, I have a lot of commercials coming out that I'm doing for brands, and then I also kind of want to get more into my like hand art, because I also used to make clothes and stuff and like sew by hand a lot, which I enjoyed. So I've been thinking about making chainmail again and like crocheting again, but also like putting some stuff on some clothes and selling it.
You should.
Those are my projects.
Yeah, that sounds really fun. And what's the name of your brand?
It's my last name, Ornelas.
Wait, what's your last name?
Ornelas. Oh,
Ornelas?
yeah.
Ornelas. Ooh. From where? Like, where are you from?
Oh, I'm from Texas.
She's Texican. She's Texican.
But you're Mexican? I know, I was gonna say that's so cool. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Shout out to your brand.
Shout out to Latinas everywhere.
Shout out to Latinas everywhere. Literally, I can't believe you were Latina. I did not think about
I
it.
know, I'm white passing. Don't remind me.
But no, you're good.
I'm white and straight passing. Like, imagine a day in my shoes.
Literally, I'm dead. But like, we're such a mix, though. That's the beautiful thing about being Latino. We come in all different colors, shapes, sizes. Like, I love it. Like, and in a way, it's kind of crazy how we've been creating our own little community. I feel like in LA.
Oh,
When it
yeah.
comes to creativity, how has been your experience in like the Latino community, here that's creative?
I love it. I think it's so beautiful. There is oh god, I wish I could remember the name. It's called something photography. It's in the Valley. Oh my god, I want to remember. I did a shoot with a photographer, and his like stuff got shown at one of their like gallery events, and I went, and it was like all Latinos, and one of my friends who's also Mexican, she was modeling for like a couple of the other photographers that were there, and it's like a very similar like community. Like two other Latinos that I ran into at the LA Fashion Week are like friends with the friend I mentioned that was modeling for them. So like it's all like very intertwined.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's beautiful. I feel like a lot of the US, I mean, all of the US is stolen land, but it's nice to see like my mom, even though she doesn't say it necessarily in a positive context, she's Colombian, and she's always like, we live in Mexico.
Yeah.
But like I think that's kind of beautiful to see certain places, like especially when I go visit my dad in Miami, like some of the places, like we kind of take our culture back, and I think that's really nice, and that's something that I want to like see more of. I also like women and Latino people, like I just want to see more of in creative spaces. My whole team is like foreign, like my assistants like just moved from Peru a couple years ago, and like yeah, I try to like I literally only hire Black people and Latino people at my like all Chinese TikTok company.
Yeah, and not like, and to protect yourself legally, you're not hiring them because
No, I'm hiring because they're the most qualified person for the job.
Period, yeah.
No,
But,
like
yeah,
literally
I
my own
understand
personal assistant. Like I would not play about productivity, but
Yeah, no, exactly, because I think you're doing such a good thing by providing that kind of employment and opportunities to, people in, I'm going to throw this term loosely, people of color
Yeah.
communities, you know what I mean? Because you know, like for example, me growing up, I didn't really have that because I was born and raised in Honduras, but like being creative over there, it's just not, that's just not real to them, you know, like being able to make a living from that, it's just not real.
It's something you play with as a kid, but then as a career you have to grow up.
You have to grow up, so in a way you're kind of healing their childhood in a way, like their dreams to be creative, because like I said, like it's already rare to come by that, and then for that opportunity to be given to you by someone that looks and like has had similar experiences and just dynamics, it's beautiful, and I want to thank you for that.
Yeah,
like I want to thank you for that. Like,
well, I also hire a lot of actors, and I'm very diverse from every age and like race and every kind of like thing you could think of. But yeah, I also am very lucky because my CEO is like a 37-year-old amazing like girl boss, and she's Chinese, and like also like a person of color that has faced a lot of adversity, and that's something we both bonded over. And she also, I think, has given me a lot of opportunities because she sees that I'm like serious about my work.
Yeah.
And like I think when certain people that have that attitude and they're ready to make their like dreams happen find each other, like you can always recognize that. And I think that's like part of, I'm super grateful to like work for a very like strong, amazing woman that's already had such a career. Yeah.
I know, it's so inspiring just to see us doing things, going places, you know, because I feel like women, you know, and women, we're pretty much dominating the music industry right now. So I'm like, I know we're going through a lot, you know, given recent election results, we're just going through a lot. But we always face a lot of adversity, and women were resilient. And we're strong, and you know, like we're like a portal, we're the portal of life, you know what I mean? So I'm really happy that we can find ourselves and support each other and grow creatively. I did want to ask though, you know, are you excited for any new movies that are coming up right now?
That's a good question. The only movie I can think of is, and it's been out for forever, but I really want to see The Apprentice.
Which, The Apprentice?
It's like with the guy that plays Tommy Lee, Pam and Tommy, what's his name? Sebastian Stan, and the guy from Succession.
Is that the Donald Trump movie?
Yeah, Jeremy Strong.
God.
Yeah, Jeremy Strong. Yeah, I really want to see it.
I really want to see it too. He's a fantastic actor.
I know, every clip that I've seen, I'm like, oh, I need to see this. That and Blink Twice, but like the second that they're free to stream, really? then it's over. Then I'm watching them.
Twice is free to stream. It's
not last night. It's still like $20. It's like $20 to rent, but and $50 to buy.
You know what I want to get? I really want to get that AMC membership.
Oh, I had it for 6 months, and I only ever saw Priscilla.
Not Priscilla. I did love Priscilla though. I did love Priscilla. I did want to ask you though. I know that I've heard a lot of people say that, you know, it is about a lot of how you network and how you meet people. Do you have any events that you love to go to in LA? Like, where do you love to hang out?
That's a really good question. As far as networking, I feel like the most interesting places have been like very cool sets and stuff that I've been on, especially because I've been a lot of people on set. I've been a PA, I've been a cinematographer, I've been a camera operator for Stacey, stuff like that. So like I feel like I can relate to a lot of people and like talk to them about their experiences and like their dreams. I also like, I've noticed that I try to like fix things for other people, I guess, especially because I have like a very like business consultant mind. So like whenever people like share stuff, I'm like, okay, you should do this and that to network, and like, but I feel like, yeah, people that you've been in their place or you'd like to be in their place, I feel like that's a good place to start as far as networking. And also just like attending like open events that cater to like specific kinds of communities you relate to. Yeah.
Do you have any favorite ones?
I don't know. This is so sad. I've just been going to a lot of TikTok shop events for my work. But all the ladies there, I have to say, a lot of them are like women that are in their 50s that like, you know, have been working at these desk jobs for their whole lives, and like literally their bodies can't take it anymore. And like, if they ever want to retire, that's something that they need to keep doing for like the next 15 years. And TikTok Shop is like an opportunity for not only them to get out of that hole, but to be seen as a person for the first time. It's a huge thing that I've seen with a lot of the women at those events. So I think like I've done a lot of networking in that sense, because there's so many amazing ladies in every space, I feel like.
I know.
That, yeah, it's been really cool. But we also have like little office hours and stuff, like happy hours at the office, where people come for like events. So I do my networking there when people come in too.
Yeah. That's so, I think we've had such a conversation on womanhood and, our community. Do you have a lot of siblings?
I have 2 half siblings that live in Miami. Yeah.
Are they women or are they boys?
1 girl and 1 boy.
That's so interesting.
So binary.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, that's cool. So, did you grow up more alone?
Yeah, they're really young. I never lived with a sibling.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, who would you say like some of your inspirations are?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. Like Joan of Arc.
I've heard so much about that lately. I hope
Really?
to make a biopic. Yeah.
That was not like this last year, but like the year before that. That was my Halloween costume. And I'm like French and I be hearing shit, so I just relate to her a lot.
You are French. I don't know why I forgot about that for like a second. I was like,
Because I need to get the bob shortened. When my bob is like back up here, then you can tell.
oh my god, yeah, your hair is so long. When I met you, your hair was literally by your ears.
Yeah.
Oh my god, time flies by like crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And I be having my biotin and my Celsius every day.
As you should. That means you healthy. But so Joan of Arc, that's so cool.
Inspiration. I don't know. I feel like a lot of art inspires me. Like definitely a lot of like feminist artist icons. Judy Chicago is one of my favorites. She did this like dinner table piece where it was like a triangular shaped table, but like banquet style. And like one side was like women of history, one was like women of like modern day, and then the other side was like mythical like deities and goddesses and stuff. And each like plate was set for like a different like important female through like different spaces. And she has like other things to signify and like categorize them. But there's like odes to Georgia O'Keeffe and like some really cool female deities that I was always obsessed with growing up. So yeah, Judy Chicago, I feel like, is definitely one of my favorites, and Max Ernst is another, like, abstract painter that I also love.
That's so interesting. I am excited to see, where you're going to follow your journey creatively. Is there anywhere we can follow you, or we can see your work?
Yeah, I need to update my website, but you guys can find my Instagram. It's just Angelina Gault. That's my name. And pretty much everything else is linked there, so if you want it bad enough, you can find it.
Yes, we do want it bad enough.
But I'll update my website eventually, and I'm gonna start putting more of like my content creation, like more commercial studio stuff that I do too, because I need to be serious and like make money.
Yeah, girl boss.
Yes. Also, can I say before we wrap the whole thing up, you're such a good interviewer. Like the questions, everything, like the driving of the conversation, you should like look into journalism full time.
Thank you. You're so sweet. Your compliments and your presence just warm my heart, and I'm so grateful that I got to speak with you deeper.
Yes, I'm glad I finally made it to the studio.
Me too. I'm just happy we had this opportunity to just connect and really get to know each other more. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you guys for listening, and I hope you take care.